What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talk Sports with Jake. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a nice weekend. Christmas right around the corner. Let's get started. The Washington Nationals have hired a general manager under their new baseball president. Of course, they got a new regime coming in this season. Hired Amy Colombi as their next general manager. He was the assistant general manager for the Phillies this past season. He's 31 years old. So now, the manager, GM, and president of baseball operations for the Washington Nationals were all born after the year 1990. So they're all under the age of 38. So a very young new regime in Washington. Or Brett Butera, the new manager, is like 33 years old, something like that. So a very young regime will be taking over in Washington this coming season. San Diego Padres re-signed Michael King, 3 years, $75 million. He can opt out after this year and next year. I think this is a really good deal for both sides. For the Padres, King, when he's healthy, is a great pitcher, frontline arm in the major leagues, but health was a major concern. He's on a long-term commitment for a guy who I do things on the wrong side of 30. And if you're King, you make $25 million this year. You go out this year, stay healthy, you have another good season, you can opt out and cash in next year. You can still get a longer-ish term deal. And if something goes haywire, you have the option to come back next year, and even the same thing the following year as well. It's a very good deal for both sides. Sneal also comes to terms with Sung Mun Song, a Korean infielder. Don't have the terms yet, but he's very good. Last year, hit 26 home runs. He's been a very good hitter in Korea for a while now. 26 pops last year. He joins the Padres. I think that's a good move. Probably going to lose Luis Arias, which means first. He played a lot of first and second base in these last few years. Munson will probably fill that role for the San Diego Padres. Maybe he'll play a little bit of shortstop. Tatis net with him fully in right field. That's a place they could use with Manny Machado mostly playing third base, obviously. So, but it's a good move to bring in Sun Mun Song. We had a bunch of trades that happened. The Pirates made a three-team trade with the Houston Astros and the Tampa Bay Rays. Pirates get a second baseman, Brandon Lau from the Tampa Bay Rays. Also get Mason Montgomery and Jake Magnum in the trade. Actually get pitcher Mike Burrows. Rays get two prospects, outfielder Jacob Melton and starting pitcher Anderson Brito. I think this is a very good move for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lau's a very good player. Was an all-star for the second time in his career this past season. Hit 256. First time hitting over 244 since 2020. First time in the full season since 2019, which is his only other All-Star appearance besides last season. He had a 785 OPS last year. 31 home runs, second most of his career. First time over 30 homers since 2021. 83 RBIs, that is the second most of his career as well. He's not a very good defender at second base, but he can play first. Has played the outfield very scarcely throughout his career, but going to be 31 years old, and he's a guy that can hit 30 homers, drive an 80 run. That's a legit power bat that Pittsburgh has. When they did need, also they need a lot. That's not a very good baseball team, obviously. Hasn't been in a while, but this is a good move for the Pittsburgh Pirates for sure. As for the other pieces in this trade, Mason Montgomery, I mean, he's a def piece last year. 5.67 ERA. Some games wasn't very good. Jake Magnum, he could make the team as a backup outfielder last year. Not a good year. Played 118 games. Hit 296, but only had 698 OPS, but he's got some decent back to ball skills. Houston picks up Mike Burrows, who made 19 starts last year. Had a 3.94 ERA, 97 strikeouts, and 31 walks over 96 innings. So that's a solid piece for Houston to pick up. Maybe he slots in to the rotation somewhere. Maybe he pitches out of the bullpen. And for Tampa, get back two good prospects. You get back Jacob Melton, who last year hit 286 for 389 on base, 556 slugging, but 945 OPS. He's a guy maybe this year or next year could be a major factor in their outfield for sure. And Anderson Brito last year in high A ball, in 12 starts had 3.65 ERA, 49 in the third, had 65 strikeouts against 28 walks. So he's got some swing and miss stuff for sure. Only going to be 21 years old. That's a good return for Brandon Lau. I think all teams made out relatively well. Pirates get a power hitting second baseman. I would argue the Pirates just acquired their best hitter. I think Ladd would be their best hitter. Like, Olin, of course, has raw power, but strikes out way too much. Brian Reynolds isn't the same player. So I would argue Braylon was their best hitter. The Astros get some starting pitching depth, and the Rays get two very good prospects for a guy they are probably looking to move. And the Kansas City Royals make a small move. They acquire Matt Strahm from the Phillies for Jonathan Bolin. This is a good move for the Royals. Strahm's a very good left-handed reliever, 2.9 ERA or so over the last 4 seasons. He was an all-star 2 years ago for 1.87 ERA in 66 games. Again, 66 games last year for the Phillies, 2.74 ERA in 62 and a third, 70 strikeouts, 20 walks. Also had 6 saves. One of the best left-handed relievers in all of baseball. He's going to be 34 years old. That's a very good addition for the Kansas City Royals. They add to an already very good bullpen. Bowman goes to the Phillies. Bowman last year was okay for the Royals. 34 games out of the bullpen, made one start, had a 3.86 ERA. He went 44 and a third, 46 strikeouts and 17 walks for Jonathan Bolin. Don't really understand it from the Phillies standpoint. Their bullpen always gives them trouble, and you downgrade in the bullpen by swapping Jonathan Bolin for Strahm. I know Bolin's a lot younger. He's going to be 29. Strahm's going to be 34. But you trade away one of the best left-handed relievers in all of baseball for a mostly unproven 29-year-old reliever. I didn't understand that from the Phillies perspective. But in the city, you pick up a very good left-handed reliever. That's a nice add to your bullpen. The Orioles make a pretty big-ish move. They pick up Shane Baz from the Rays, young starting pitcher. They send 4 prospects to Tampa. After Slayer DeBrune, who was just drafted in the first round recently by the Baltimore Orioles, they give up catcher Caden Bodine in the deal. Only 4-3 at bats so far in his minor league career, but hit 326 in those at bats this past season. To give up right-handed pitcher Michael Ferret. Ferret last year, 18 starts, a 2.07 ERA, 91 strikeouts against 21 walks in 74 innings. And Austin Overn, also in that trade. He is an outfielder. Last year hit 249, 13 homers, 43 RBIs, 754 OPS in the minor leagues. On the surface, this appears to be overpaid by the Orioles. Baz has been hurt for most of his career. Didn't pitch in 2023 because of Tommy John. He comes off the injured list in 24, late in the season, and pitches well, 3.06 ERA in 14 starts. Last year, first half of the season, but wasn't very good. 4.87 ERA in 31 starts, 166 in the third, 176 strikeouts against 64 walks. That being said, he's still only 27 years old. He's got a lot of control under his belt. He's cheap. If they can unlock him, this could be a potential ace. He was a superstar prospect with Pittsburgh when he first came up. Got straight to the Rays in the infamous Chris Archer trade. He hasn't been able to put it together. He's not been on the field very much. But he's shown in the past when he's on, the potential, the talent is still there. And he can be very good. And Baltimore does need a lot of pitching. If they can get something solid out of Baz, this would be a really good pickup. You have a lot of young players. So the 2 athletes you give up probably don't have much of a path. Kane Bodine, there's 2 excellent young catchers in this organization already. Natalie Rushman and Samuel Balsala. Rushman was an all-star 2 years ago. Balsala last year got an 8-year extension after playing 4 games for the Orioles, which are coming up. Bodine's completely blocked. You have the 1 pitcher and then also over. So when you really dive deep, it's probably worth the risk. And if it works out, this will be look like a great trade from the Baltimore Orioles. I mean, one more pretty big trade. This one broke last night. The Boston Red Sox pick up first baseman Wilson Contreras from the St. Louis Cardinals. They send starting pitcher Hunter Dobbins as well as 2 pitching prospects, Yehoiker Fajardo and Blake Ida, to the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't love this from Boston's side. Here's why. Contreras is a good player. He had a good year last year, hit 257, 20 homers, 80 RBIs, had a 344 on base, 791 OPS. So this is a guy who in 23, 125 games, 20 and 67, hit 260, 350 on base, 826 OPS. Was hurt for half of 24, was very good, 260, hit 380 on base, was a career high, 848 OPS, which was the second highest of his career. 15 home runs and only 300 at bats. this past year, 135 games, so stayed relatively healthy. But 20 homers, 80 RBIs, okay. Hit 257. His on base was down to 344. His OPS was down to 791. So he appears to be declining a bit. He's going to be 34. He's not a very good defensive first baseman. Can't really catch anymore. I expect him to do some DH, especially with Tristan Casas still in the mix in Boston. But maybe he gets traded. He's never been a big health guy. He's never played more than 138 games in his career. He was a catcher for a lot of his career, especially in Chicago. So I know, catchers are going to get some more days off than some other guys. So it's rare to see a catcher play 140 plus games. Is what makes a guy like Yadi Molina, who's catching 150, 160 games every year in his prime, so impressive and so rare. But also, if this is the middle of the order bat that you're gonna be hanging your hat on for the offseason, that's just not good enough if you're Boston. Assuming Casas can't get out of this funk that he's been in for a couple years and you can't see in the field, this is an upgrade at first base. Contreras is still a solid hitter, but not a good defender. Going to be 34. How St. Louis is paying him $8 million. They just want him off the team. And you give a young pitcher in Dobbins who pitched well before he got hurt last year, and two other pitching prospects. Dobbins last year in 13 starts, 4.13 ERA, 61 innings, 45 strikeouts, and 17 walks. Yorker Fajardo, 17 starts, was pretty good. 72 innings, 83 strikeouts, 27 walks. So Blake Ida, 19 starts, 3.8 ERA, 115 in the third, 99 strikeouts, 30 walks. So two, I would say, middle of the road pitching prospects. So to giving up 3 young pitchers, not a horrible, package to give up if you're Boston. But if this is the power bat you're bringing in Contreras, I don't think it's enough. His tenure in St. Louis was weird. Like, he was a guy who had been a catcher his whole career, and he gets there, and they came out and just said, like, they're teaching him how to catch, even if he had been a catcher, in a below average one, but had been a catcher for, like, 6 or 7 years in the big leagues, and they came out and said, yeah, he can't catch, we're moving him to first base, and this is right after they gave him 5 years and $87.5 million. So he's a good hitter, but, not a great first baseman, can't really catch anymore. Going to be 34. 2 years left on his deal. I think they're paying him maybe $16.5 million a year or so. Some health problems. I wouldn't have done this if I was the Boston Red Sox. But this is a good trade for the Cardinals. You get back a young pitcher, Hunter Dobbins, who, since he's healthy, which could be day one, will slot into your rotation. Obviously, make another trade with Boston. Not sure why the Red Sox are trading with Shane Bloom. I thought they would know better than that. And you get back 2 young pitchers who are still in the minor leagues who in the next couple of years could definitely be factors. As St. Louis's teardown continues. Of course, they traded Sonny Gray earlier in the offseason to Boston and got back Richard Fitz, a Red Sox 5th best prospect, who's a good young pitcher. They get 3 young pitchers back for Rosa Contreras, also from Boston. I expect Nolan Arenado is probably going to be next, and following him could be all-star second baseman Brendan Donovan. And then we had one free agent signing that was worth talking about. Munetaka Murakami is finally signed with the Chicago White Sox for 2 years and $34 million. I think it's a good idea for the White Sox. He's got incredible raw power. He's 26 or 27 years old. Raw power is there. We know about the advanced metrics, how awful they are. He strikes out a lot. Doesn't hit fast pitches very well. Not a good defender, especially at third base. You have to play first base and DH at the big league level. But this is a guy who could hit 50 home runs in a season. The raw power is absolutely there. For Murakami, obviously your market wasn't what you thought it was going to be, but now you can play for the White Sox for a couple of years, build up your value, prove that you can play at this level, and in 2 years, still be 28, 29, you can go out and get that huge deal that you're looking for this year. So Murakami, shockingly, only $234 million, and he will be a Chicago White Sox. There were 2 moves in the NHL. First one was the Montreal Canadiens reuniting with an old friend. They acquire Philip Denault from the Los Angeles Kings. It's in the second-round pick in this coming draft to the Kings. Denault's best year of his career was his first year with the Kings in 2022 when he had 27 goals. Been declining a bit. Last year only had 8 goals and 43 points. Doesn't have a goal through 30 games this season. But solid veteran. He played for the Canadiens from 2016 to 2021 for 6 seasons. He was in Montreal. had some solid years there. He's a solid piece to have. Thought the Kings traded him because they are, in the mix in the Western Conference. I think they're like the last team in. Obviously, still a ton of games still to be played on. Nine at the halfway point. I think the solid move for the Canadians. Give a second round pick, but it's an old friend that you know. And maybe he bounced back when he was a couple of years ago when he had a 27-goal season. Another trade though. The Columbus Blue Jackets acquire Mason Marshman from the Seattle Kraken. It's from the second and the fourth round pick to the Seattle Kraken. Marshman is a very good player. Last year had one of the best years of his career. He had 22 goals, 25 assists, and 47 points. Year before that, 22 goals, 31 assists, and 53 points. That happened in Dallas. Through 29 games in Seattle, 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points. He's a very good player. And Columbus, who has not been very good this year, you're the worst team in the Eastern Conference, but the East is so tight. They're still a legit path to the playoffs for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And they pick up a very good player, Mason Marshman. Seattle has not been great this year, and they send him to the Columbus Blue Jackets to get back a couple of mid-round picks in return. Let's head to college football. First of all, congrats to Kemi Dillingham. He gets a 5-year extension from Arizona State for $7.5 million a year. He's a very good coach, doing a good job at Arizona State. He'll be staying there long term. Not surprised. He's from there. He went to college there. He's done a good job there. He's had some success there. He's going to stay there long term. Now I'm not sure where Michigan turns because I think he was one of the favorites to be their next head coach, and now he's out going to be staying in Phoenix to coach Arizona State. But college football playoff games, first round happened over the weekend. On a Friday, number 9 Alabama beats number 8 Oklahoma 34-24. Oklahoma jumped up to a big lead, and Alabama comes storming back to come back and win the game.
For Alabama, that's a first down run from Mateer. Picks his way. Mateer, shifty, touchdown OU. Mateer takes a look. Touchdown! Isaiah Satania. Oklahoma rolling over the Tide right now. Just get it off. Pressure comes. It's picked up. Back foot throw. Brooks comes back and makes the catch. 2-1. Simpson looking, finding. Brooks still fighting. Diving for the end zone. Alabama, 4th down, touchdown. We'll get the football to begin the third quarter. Miller, it's blocked. And Alabama's special teams make a play. He just dropped the snap. Only rushed 3. Intercepted. They confused him. Xavier Brown headed the other way. Touchdown Tide. Simpson this time has a clean pocket. Lofty toward the end zone. Brooks. Touchdown Alabama. Crimson Tide have the lead. Mateer dancing around, delivers onto the middle. It's caught. Off and running is Brooks. Touchdown, Oklahoma punches back. Fake to Hill, pitch to the edge. Bernard goes up and just grabs the ball away. Do they call it a catch? They battled for it. Motion. It's Hill. Banging forward. Fighting, twisting. Touchdown, Alabama. Mateer must create. On the move now. Scanning. Turns and throws downfield. Catch made. Gibson's got it. Chased down from behind as the Sooners convert and get to the red zone. One of the great portal transfers anybody has made this season. Gets it up and good. No. They say no good. Did that fade outside the upright?
It looks like it's going right through the middle and just keeps drifting to the left.
Oklahoma in this game jumped out to a early lead. It was John Mateer who would run it in the first quarter. 5.5 to go, about to make it 7-0. They'd be up 10-0 in the second quarter. Mateer looks like he's going to scramble, ends up throwing it. Touchdown, 7-0 early second quarter. People were freaking out on Twitter saying Alabama's done, Kalen DeBoer's done. But then the tides, no pun intended, would literally change in this game from there. The very next drive, Simpson drops back. Off his back foot, delivers a nice ball. Nice job to come back and get it by Brooks. puts them past midfield. And 4th and 2, they go for it. Good call by DeBoer. Brooks makes the catch first down, breaks a bunch of tackles into the end zone for a touchdown. Oklahoma should have brought that guy down, man. But Alabama now gets within 10. Later in the quarter, the Oklahoma punter muffs the punt. He basically muffs the snap. Alabama ends up getting the ball on the brink of the red zone. And a couple plays later, Mateer drives later. Alabama would not capitalize, but pick 6 from Mateer. Makes it 17-17 going into the half. Then early third quarter, Simpson David throws was a dime touchdown for Alabama. They're up 24-17. It was 24 unanswered for them. Later it's 27-17. Won the first place of the fourth quarter. Mateer, deep over the middle, got his man an absolute dart. Touchdown Oklahoma. They're back within a field goal very early in the fourth quarter. But then 8:45 to go, fourth quarter, play action, Simpson, and a great catch there by the Alabama receiver. That was just incredible. That sets up 1st and goal for Alabama. And 2 plays later, they would run it in. The running game finally got going late in this game for Alabama after a game and a half of it being non-existent. They're up by 10. Late in the fourth quarter, less than 5 minutes ago, Mateer scrambling, throws on the run, finds a wide open man, big gain, puts Oklahoma into the red zone. They would end up trying to kick a field goal with less than 3 minutes to go. One of the best kickers in college football misses it just wide left, and that would pretty much seal it for Alabama. Alabama comes back and wins 34-24, and they advance to the quarterfinals of the college football playoff. First road team to ever win a college football playoff game. They'll play Indiana in the quarterfinals on New Year's Eve in that bowl window there. Oklahoma completely blew this game. You're up 17-0. You got to keep your foot on the gas. That fake punt, not the fake, but the muff punt changed everything. Alabama didn't even capitalize on that. But now, opposed to, because remember, you're up by 10? You're up by 10. If you punt that ball away, get yourself a good punt and stop them. At the very least, you should go into the half at least up by 10. Instead, Alabama gets a field goal. Mateer's a brutal pick 6, which makes matters worse. And from there, you just lost all the momentum. Obviously, the guy's going to make that kick. He makes that kick. Still, 2:50 to go, down by a touchdown. You got to get a stop, and then your not so great offense has to go down and score just to get to overtime. But you give yourself a fighting chance if you make that field goal, and they didn't even do that. So Oklahoma definitely blows that game, but Bama comes back and wins. Again, Michigan's head coach search. Another wrench gets thrown into it because now DeBoer stuff could be staying at Alabama, I would think. On Saturday, number 10 Miami beats number 7 Texas A&M in a small upset, 10-3 in a low-scoring game. A light touchdown from Miami was the difference in the 10-3 victory for the Hurricanes.
Concepcion might want somebody else to return punts. One off the helmet, and then that hit. Reed going deep. Receiver open. It is caught. Mario Craver out of bounds at the 11-yard line. He was the backup to start the year, but Randy Bond, there it is. It is deflected on a low kick. Wesley Bassett bringing it back. The nightmare continues for Mike Elko. Wasn't the case at the beginning of the year. Carter Davis. And that ball, you could see it get driven wide by the wind. Don't make mistakes. It's a fake punt, and it is an incomplete pass. 47. This is from 40 in the lead at the half. Oh, those kickers. Early in the third quarter. Four-man rush, clean pocket, Reed too high and intercepted. Picked off by the freshman Fitzgerald. Bryce Fitzgerald down the sideline and out of bounds near the 20. That's off the upright and no good. And right down the middle. Short of 100 on 12 carries. They fake the delay to him. Beck over the middle. Caught. Tony, the ball's out. He got stripped at the end of the run. On 3rd down and 6 on the fringe of field goal range. Flag down. Reed taken down. Reuben Bain again. But against weak competition. They do go to the run game, and it's Fletcher off and running. Blitzer across midfield, refusing to go down, and all the way to the 30-yard line of A&M. Reed gets it to the end zone, intercepted! Picked off again by the freshman, Bryce Fitzgerald.
Early second quarter, Marcel Reed steps up, deep pass is caught, nice juggling catch, knocked out of bounds, deep into the red zone. A&M would end up with a short field goal attempt, just 20 yards out, and the field goal will be blocked. A low kick gets blocked, so a missed opportunity for A&M. Mike Elko-Musselman was pretty livid, as you would expect him to be. And then a little bit later in this game, late 3.5 to go in the half, a field goal from 47-yarder from Miami, misses it. A&M's fired up. Still no score in this game. Last 2 minutes of the half, they tried a fake punt and it's snuffed out. This was actually well executed. Good job by the punter to kind of sell it. He was actually going to punt it. Nice throw, but good play by Miami. But it's not a good play call. No score in the game. Less than 2 minutes to go in the half. Punt the ball, get a stop, maybe try and get 3 before the half. If not, go into the half. But thankfully, 40-yard time expires in the first half. Miami kicker shanks it. Another missed field goal. But third quarter early on, 21-yarder is good. On 4th and goal, Miami on the board 3-0. Third quarter, a little bit later, Reed over the middle, picked off. Terrible throw from Reed. Gets picked off. Good return on his interception by the Hurricanes, who still led 3-0 at this point. There was another field goal try from 35 yards. Clank, the third missed field goal of the game from Miami. In fourth quarter, 8 minutes to go, 35-yarder. Got it. They got it. Finally tied the game up with 8 minutes to go. Very next drive, Carson Beck drops back. Pass is complete, but a fumble. A&M recovers it right just about at midfield. All momentum, 3rd and 6, Reed looking, and he is sacked. Penalty will be on A&M. It gets declined. They'd have to punt. Missed opportunity for the Aggies. 4 minutes to go. Miami gets the ball back. And a big play on the ground here for Mark Fletcher. Carrying a guy with him all the way close to the 30-yard line of Texas A&M. Later in the drive, it'd be 3rd and goal, less than 30 seconds to go. They would put it in there, and then the Russell Reed interception makes it 10-3 Miami final. Miami tried to hand this game to A&M. They missed 3 field goals. You had the fumble in the middle of the field in the second half of this game. After A&M tied the game, you get nothing out of it. A&M had a chip shot field goal get blocked. Bad penalties, and just A&M just the bad interception in the third quarter by Reed, not capitalizing on the fumble recovery. Getting the kick blocked, and if you saw on that, even on the last play, if he slides to his left, he would have had that guy in the middle of the field, but he doesn't, and just forces the front triple cover that gets picked off. I'm also right. Yeah, he's just not that guy. All right, he's just not that guy. Miami proof that they deserve to be in the playoff. They win 10-3. Then the true group of 5 games. Number 6 Ole Miss beats number 11 Tulane 41-10. It was not even remotely close. And number 5 Oregon beats number 12 JMU 51-34. It was 41-13 in the middle of the third quarter in this game. Just a drubbing in both games. That's going to be the last time a group of 5 team gets in. I don't think they'll get banned from the playoff, but they're going to get rid of a little bit, so now a group of 5 team, I cannot imagine they're ever going to be in the top 12. So group of 5 teams are probably done. Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin just got, they beat the living breaks off of Tulane. If you're Tulane, look, you're a good team. Got nothing to lose. Johnson Roll is going to Florida. You saw this team earlier in the year. They're a little bit weaker now, and you lose by 31. It was 34-3 at one point. It was 41-10. And JMU, I didn't think you were going to get anywhere close to Oregon. Plus, they even covered the spread. But again, you got nothing to lose. Bob Chesney is leaving. He's going to UCLA, wherever he's going. And you just get your brains beat in. That's going to be in the group of 5 teams in the college football playoff for sure. I do not expect this to happen ever again. Week 16 of the NFL, winding down in the regular season. Seahawks win what I think is the game of the year over the Rams, 38-37. Just an incredible game. Was wild back and forth. Seattle pulls it out very late in this game. Actually, went to overtime. Seahawks pull it out.
4th and inches, their second 4th down of this drive, and this time Williams is able to lunge forward. Where will they spot it? Line judge comes in. He appears to be ready to spot it a little bit short. Did he make it? Nope, and down and goal. Charbonnet into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Stafford throwing, caught into the end zone. Goes Terrence Ferguson. 4-man rush. Pass caught. And it's fumbled, and it's going to wind up at the 1-yard line. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp fumbles. Rams recover. Hand the ball off here. Here, Walker. Kenneth Walker inside the 40. Kenneth Walker is out in front. Kenneth Walker, touchdown Seahawks. Top in the Premier League, and the Nuggets aren't doing too badly either. 3rd and 8 is picked off. Intercepted by, speaking of Josh Wallace, there is Josh Wallace, and he will take it to the 1-yard line. Is the back. He has it. And he gets spun down, and he is in for the touchdown. The quarter. Blitz coming. Stafford hangs in, throws wide open. There's Nakua. Nakua breaking a tackle, being chased, and they will get him at the 5-yard line. Trying to stretch the lead, and that is going to be hauled in by who else? Puka Nakua. The backfield. Darnold under pressure, and that's intercepted at the 1-yard line. That is Kobe Turner with another Rams interception.
Fantastic. They caught fire at the right time.
Absolutely.
Here.
Yep. Had a hold off Tampa Bay and Brady, then beat San Francisco coming from behind in the championship game. Meanwhile, that punt is caught, and down the line goes Rashid Shaheed. Darnold throws, and it will be in there for the 2 points. Start this drive from the 43. Shaheed. Flag is thrown. So Shaheed with another good run, but. Where's it going to go? Rolling left. Throwing back the other way. He's got a man. Caught. Barner. Touchdown. Quick throw here, and into a lot of traffic, and incomplete. To give the Rams the lead, and he has been no good. Doing it all year long. Play fake. Stafford fires. Nakua again. Nakua will take it to the end zone. Darnold, play fake. Looks, throws, caught! Smith and Jigba. Barner in motion. Darnold throws, caught for the 2 points. Eric Saubert.
Insane game, this one. Start off in the first quarter, 4th and inches, just past midfield. Rams go for it. Kyren doesn't get it. Didn't love that play call. Just pound it up the middle. There's no reason to take that to the outside. They do a virtual, which we don't see very often. 1.5 inches short. Sits up 2nd and goal. Zach Charbonnet pounds it in. I can't imagine owning Kenneth Walker in fantasy this year. Charbonnet steals so many of his touchdowns. This got to be frustrating. But 7-0 Seahawks in the first quarter in this one. Later in the second quarter, under 4 minutes to go, down by a point. Stafford finds a man. Touchdown. It's Terrence Ferguson. Runs up 13-7. Less than a minute to go. Sam finds Cooper Kupp, the former Ram, but he fumbles. Oh, that's a killer. Rams recover. So go up by 6 going into the half. But very early in the third quarter, Seattle has the ball. Kenneth Walker. Speaking of Kenneth Walker, there's his touchdown. Breaks free. 55 yards. He's gone. 14-13 Seattle. They're up by a point. Early third quarter. A little bit later in the third quarter, Sam Darnold down by 2. A brutal interception there. Big run back there for the Rams. All the way down to the goal line. Kenneth Walker saves a touchdown, but would not matter. I think the very next play, very next play, Kyrie Williams up the middle, touchdown, Rams. They go up 23-14, about halfway through, late quarter, halfway through the third quarter. Then pretty much last play of the third quarter, Stafford over the middle, Puka Nacua. That guy is insanely good, breaks a couple tackles. He is down inside the 5. That'll be the last play of the third quarter. 3rd and goal, Stafford. Oh, great play to Nacua. This guy's just too good. Now, they're up 30-14. Next drive, Sam Darnold, 3rd and goal, a horrendous interception. There it's Kobe Turner, who had a monster game for the Rams, defensive lineman. At this point, it looked over. 9:40 to go in the game. Their Seahawks are down by 16. Being said, Rams would force 3 and out. Rams punting from almost their own end zone. Shaheed would return this from about his own 45. He'd be practically untouched, tiptoes down the sideline for a touchdown. Makes it 30-20. They would go for 2. Sam Darnold finds his man for 2. Cooper Kupp catches it. They go for 2, and then later in the game, 7 minutes ago, 4th quarter, on the end around, Shaheed, another big play. What a pickup he was at the deadline. Puts them into the red zone, or just before the red zone. Next play, Darnold bootleg, throws. H.R. Barner's wide open, a touchdown, so they got to go for 2 to tie it. 6:23 to go. So at first, looks like he's looking for Charmaine. Pass is blocked. Looks like it's incomplete. But on the replay, they showed it was a backwards pass. And because the Seahawks picked up on the end, it's a good conversion. It's an insane play. Seahawks get to a conversion. Rams have a chance to take the lead late. 2:11 to go. 48 yards from Mevis. He would miss it. Just misses. He's been so good to this point since getting picked up. We go to overtime. 6.5 to go. Stafford, play action. Zips one in there to Puka Nacua. In there for a touchdown, 40-plus yards. Rams up 37-30. And then Darnold, play action. Finds his man, JS, in the back of the end zone. He would go for the win. Goes for 2. Darnold out of a shotgun. Looking. Finds his man. Touchdown. 2-point conversion. Good. Seahawks win 38-37. Incredible game. Seahawks now in the 1 seed in the NFC with 2 weeks to go in the season. They said just Stafford should still be the MVP though. 29-49 for 457, 3 touchdowns. Puka Nacua, 12 catches for 225 and 2 touchdowns. Saturday games, Eagles over the Commanders, 29-18. They get the 10-5. They clinch the NFC East for the 2nd year in a row. Commanders for the 4-11, so injury plagued year for them. Kind of a wash. And then the Bears have a crazy win over the Packers, 22-16 in overtime. They get them to 11-4. They end up clinching a playoff spot. Packers drop to 9-5-1. It's a crazy game with a crazy ending.
Love, 4th and 1. Firing to the corner. It is incomplete. Tried to get it over there to Christian Watson, but C.J. Gardner-Johnson says, Like over snap it over Manunga's head. He goes back and recovers it, but a near disaster. Snap and hold are good, and that one, wind be darned, no issue. And 2. Bears rush 4. Willis floats one deep. He's got Dobbs. He's got it. Touchdown, Green Bay. 105 yards, 3rd and 9. Williams looking over the middle, has a completion of Moore. He's short, though. It's going to be 4th down and 4. It's going to take him to the 2-minute warning. Santos trying to at least keep the Bears in it, and he's up. And he does do that. The decision. Try the onside kick. It's laying around. Got to pick it up. And it's loose on the ground. Who's going to get it? Oh, the Bears have it. Are you serious? Williams, pressure, throwing, corner, has a man. It is caught. Touchdown. Janae Walker. Unbelievable! Oh, it's a fake. Willis rolling out in trouble. He is hit, surges forward, but he's not going to get there. Ball is loose, picked up, and the Bears get a stop. On the fake, Williams looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all. It is caught. Bears win it.
So this game, first quarter, the Packers go for it deep in the red zone on 4th and 1. incomplete to Watson. That was weird. They line up without Jacobs on the field. Timeout gets called. They go back out there. And I don't know why. I mean, I know Jacobs, we're sure he's going to play. I think he got nicked up in the game, so he didn't play a lot the rest of the game. But, like, at that point, he was healthy. You got to just give it to Josh Jacobs, one of the best goal line backs in the NFL. That was a terrible call by Matt LaFleur. Then the Bears did the same thing, basically. 4th and 1. You're on, the 4-yard line. They fake that the tight end's going to take the snap, and then they stab it over the head of Kyle Monagai. Just a brutal play call by the Bears. So still no score late in the first quarter. Then second quarter, 4th and goal, McManus nailed a short field goal from 26 yards out. 3-0 Bears. Jordan Love will get hurt in this game. It'll be Malik Willis for a lot of this game. 6-3, late third quarter. 3rd and 2, drops a dime to Romeo Dubes. Makes it 13-3. It's 16-6. About 2:40 to go. K up 3rd and 9 to Moore. Short of the first down. Bears would kick a field goal. Kyle Russell's 43-yarder is good. He had a great game in this one. 16-9, 2 minutes to go in the game. Onside kick. Dubes has it, but then he doesn't. Shade of the 2014 NFC Championship against Seattle for the Packers. Bears recover the onside kick with 1:56 to go for the Bears, and that would set up a goal-to-goal situation on 4th and 4 from the 6-yard line. Came up under pressure off his back foot, but a guy is wide open. Undrafted free agent for the Bears. Touchdown with 24 seconds to go. We go to overtime. Packers on 3rd and 1. Willis, play action. Tries to scramble, but can't get it. No gain. They go for it because they're only on like the 35-yard line. 4th and 1, and Willis fumbles the snap. Bears take over on downs with solid field position. Less than 5 minutes to go. First down, just past midfield. Caleb, deep pass. Proud of his pass of his career. As bad as he was in this game at times, and as bad as I think he is in general. Great throw, DJ Moore. Bears pull it out 22-16. This game was 16-3 in the 4th quarter. That's a brutal loss for the Green Bay Packers to not get the onside kick. Then, it's 1st and goal. You get a couple stops, and then you get pressure on Caleb, but you leave the guy wide open. You needed 2 points to get a yard. You don't get it. Willis fumbles when he could have, kicked a long field goal. But nothing but the end in that weather, to be fair. I didn't think that was a bad call. And then to give up the dime on that play, that's a brutal loss for the Green Bay Packers. But huge win for the Bears. Kudos to Ben Johnson, who should absolutely be the coach of the year. On Sunday, Bills over the Browns, 23-20. They hang on to win. Shador, another bad game, 20-29, 157-yard touchdown on the pick. What else is new? James Cook runs for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bills 11-4 on the year. Browns put up 3-12. They right now have the 3rd pick in the draft. Chargers over the Cowboys, 34-17. Herbert goes for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the Dallas Cowboys, for the 2nd season in a row, are not going to the postseason. How about them Cowboys? 6-8-1 on the year. Chargers improved to 11-4. Kudos to them. That's another really good team. Titans win a football game. They beat the Chiefs 26-9. Gardner Minshew got hurt in this game, of course, playing for Mahomes. He also tore his ACL. That's some horrible luck for the Chiefs, man. You have 2 different quarterbacks tear ACLs in back-to-back games. That's terrible. It was Chris Olodokun, their 3rd string, who started a lot of this game for them. Titans actually win. They get to 3-12. Their first home win of the year. They now have the 5th pick in the draft. Came off his best game of the year, 21 of 28 for 220 yards and 2 scores, 102 yards on the ground for Tony Pollard. Chiefs fall 6-9. Of course, first time missing the playoffs in 11 years for them. Bengals over the Dolphins, 45-21. Burrow, 309 yards and 4 touchdowns. They look at the 5-10. Dolphins fall to 6-9. Of course, Quinn Ewers made his first ever start in that one. Saints over the Jets, 29-6, and just a brutal game to watch. Tower Shuck, 32 of 49 for 308 yards and a touchdown. Olave, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. They blow the Jets out of the water. Saints are 5-10. They won 3 in a row, actually. Jets are 3-12. They now have the 4th pick in the draft. They have to fire Aaron Glenn. They have to. This guy sucks. I'm not mad they lost. They should tank him at this point. But how do you lose by 23 to the Saints? I know Brady Cook isn't good at all. Undrafted rookie was your 3rd, 4th string all year. You got another start in this game. But how are you this pathetic? Their offense is so pathetically sad. And defensively, they look just as bad even without Steve Wilkes. Just horrible, 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 horrible. Just beyond terrible. It's embarrassing. They cannot bring Glenn back, but they're going to. I just know it. Vikings over the Giants, 16-13. J.J. McCarthy got hurt in this game. Was 9-14 for 100 yards and a pick before getting hurt. Max Butler finished, but Vikings win. They get to get to 7-8 on the air. Giants fall to 2-13. Another loss for the Giants. They remain winless without Brian Dable, and they right now have the first pick in the NFL draft. Just how do you lose to J.J. McCarthy and Max Butler? That's hard to do, especially at home. That being said, they should probably just tank at this point. Panthers beat the Bucs 23-20, and they have sole position in the first place in the NFC South with 2 weeks to go in the season.
It looks like he has help. Going that way. McMillan in the end zone. He's got it! And that's going to be a Panthers touchdown! More before it's over. Young. He is trying to scramble out of it, and he cuts back. Flows. Touchdown! Panthers! Jatavian Sanders! 3 walk-offs. This for the lead from 48. Mayfield throws, and it's intercepted!
Late in the first half, 12 seconds to go, 2nd and 3, down 10-6. For some great pass to Ted McMillan, Carolina up 13-10 at the half. Then late in the third quarter, last 15 seconds, Bryce Young scrambling, almost gets brought down, finds a way out of it. Nice play, finds a man for a touchdown, 20-17 late in the third quarter for Carolina. It's tied, 2:24 to go. Fitzgerald from 48 yards. He got it, 23-20 Carolina. Then last minute of the game, Baker Mayfield on 2nd and 9 gets picked off. I don't know where he was throwing it. That was an awful throw. It was barely a buck receiver in the frame. Game-sealing pick for Carolina with 42 seconds left. And they were almost in field goal range. A brutal pick for Baker. It might cost them their season. He continues to struggle down the stretch. Tampa is struggling down the stretch. Bulls just continues to show he's not a good head coach. And Carolina, good for them. They're 8-7 and in first place right now. And then the Jaguars beat the Broncos 34-20. Statement win for them. Parker Washington, 145 yards and a touchdown. Big win for them on the road, 34-20. They're 11-4 on the year. Denver drops to 12-3. Falcons over the Cardinals, 26-19. Falcons are 6-9. Cardinals are 3-12. I think Arizona has pick 6 right now. Steelers in a crazy game beat the Lions in an upset on the road, 29-24. Get to 9-6 on the year. Lions fall to 8-7.
Oh, you got one-on-one outside linebacker on Gainwell.
Rodgers off his back foot, throws it down the way, and a flag's coming out on Anzalone. And look at Gainwell. Gainwell thinks he has the touchdown.
This is the football. Jim, I'm pretty sure you said earlier, who's got the best hands on this team?
34.
Gainwell. Fake, throw. He's got Washington. Washington. Oh, they tried to strip the ball out of his hands.
They eventually got it.
They're going to say he's down. One official says he's down. The Lions have won the challenge. As you can see clearly here from this angle, the ball was stripped out by Harper. Washington unable to hold on to it. Toss to Warren. Found a little opening, and away he goes. Jaylen Warren with the touchdown. Coons will snap it back. And the kick by Boswell. Oh, no! No good.
You know it's zone.
Back over to Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra's got a blocker out in front. Amon-Ra to the 20. Being pushed from behind. And he's down to the 10. Here with 25 seconds. Goff rolling, and throwing. Wide open. St. Brown with the touchdown. And the Lions have come all the way back.
Could they be calling a
Pass
pick?
interference. Number 18, offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Wow, after this place went wild. Can they pull it off with the season in the balance? Goff fires at the 1. He didn't get across, but there are flags down. Ball ends up in the hands of Goff. He goes across. Did they have a whistle first?
A major call.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown, however.
Oh, my
Pass
goodness.
interference. Number 14 on the offense. By rule, that penalty is not enforced and there is no replay, the game is over.
This game, last play of the first half, 10 seconds ago, Aaron Rodgers, Lions down 10-3. Off his back foot, Gainwell gets brought down on passing interference, but somehow makes this catch and runs into the end zone for a touchdown. What an amazing catch by Kenneth Gainwell. So the best year of his career with the Steelers. He's been their lead back most of the year. What a great catch by Kenneth Gainwell. I don't know how he did that. That's up there some of the best catches I've ever seen. Here's get a tie going into the half. Second eight, early third quarter. Donald Washington catches it around the goal line, but ball comes out. You see on the slow-mo I showed, the ball just comes loose, and the Steelers do not put the ball in the end zone. Lions get a big break there on the fumble by Darnell Washington. Then, later in the game, fourth quarter, Rodgers pitches Jalen Warren with them up 15-10. They got a safety and a field goal, and then Warren scurries, touchdown, 22-10. Steelers, 4 from 8, 2:09 to go. Ball's up from 38 yards, because he misses it. So Lions have a chance. Then there's that wide receiver sprint to Amon-Ra. Unbeatable play. Takes him down to the red zone. With about a minute to go. 26 seconds. And then Amon-Ra touchdown. Appears to be a touchdown with 22 seconds to go. Lions are going to win. But, uh-oh. Look what's about to happen. A penalty. Offensive passing interference on Isaac Tesla away from the play. It gets wiped. Horrible penalty for Lions to take. Then last play of the game, 4th and goal, last 10 seconds. Goff, Amon-Ra, short, flag comes out. He allows it to Goff, who runs it in for a touchdown. And also there's all this waiting. They talked about this for like 5 minutes. And then the referee explains it. I know he did not explain this well, so the call in the field was Amon-Ra does lateral that ball before the whistle, before he was down. To Goff, who runs it in for a touchdown. But they called it offensive passing interference earlier in the play, a clear push-off by Amon-Ra. And because the clock read 0, on the offensive penalty, with time expires, you don't get another play. It's only if it's on the defense. So the penalty negates the score. The game ended. Just a wild finish to the game. Steelers pick up a big one over the Lions. Lions may be doomed. Need to win their last two. Packers need to lose their last two in order for the Lions to get into the postseason. Then the Texans over the Raiders, 23-21. They escaped with a win. Texans got to 10-5. Right now, the last team in the AFC. Raiders are 2-13. Team to lose. And they right now have a second pick in the NFL draft. And the Patriots come back to beat the Ravens in the fourth quarter, 28-24.
Move around. He's dropping back. May about to get hit. Escapes, keeps it alive. Fires, intercepted.
For the Ravens to sit there and watch it too.
Henry, through 2 tackles in the open field. Lost the football. And the Patriots have it. Get to a one-word quick call. Pressure from the Ravens. May in trouble. Lost the ball. Ball came out, recovered by Draymond Jones. In the run game as well. 2nd and 7. It's in the hand of Flowers. Got a couple of blockers. Can he get to him? He does. And there he goes. Flowers, goal line. In for the touchdown. Fake. Mapu. In trouble. Lost the football too. Ravens will have it right around the 45. Ricard blocks left. Henry runs left. Touchdown, Ravens. Johnson, 7th-year veteran, former Raven, in the lineup. May taking a deep shot. Downfield towards Williams. He brought it in. That's a touchdown. That is Kyle Williams. The 21. Stevenson bouncing outside. Ramondre Stevenson with a block by Williams to the end zone. The Patriots take the lead. But it might not be significant if the Ravens don't rally. Huntley looking. Flowers. The best man play. Chase down, knocked out. Patriots recover. It was Caleb Chason who came from behind and forced the fumble.
This game in the first quarter, 6.5 to go. Drake May under pressure. Tries to force it and get the intercepted. That's just a young mistake from Drake May. Big pick for the Ravens. They're up 7-0 in the first quarter. Derrick Henry, first down, and he fumbles. Henry's had some ball screen issues this year, not like him. He fumbles, key fumble there. Now it's 10-10, 20 seconds to go first half. May under pressure. He fumbles. Ravens pick it up. So we're 10-10 going into the half. 4:40 to go, third quarter, ended around to Zay Flowers. Remember, Tyler Huntley's the quarterback. Lamar got hurt with his back injury in this game. Zay's in, 17-13 Ravens. Later in this game, pretty much terrible fake punt from the Patriots. Not sure what you're doing. On 4th and 10, in the middle of the field, down by 4 in a big game. Why would you do that? I think he meant to pass it, but no one was open. So he's like, crap, I just have to run now. And just got snuffed out. Horrible play call from the New England Patriots. So second goal for the Ravens. Derrick Henry, not fumbling this time. He's in, touchdown. 24-13 Ravens for fourth quarter. But then, next drive, 9 minutes ago, May with a beautiful pass. Nice catch over the shoulder by Kyle Williams. That was a great pass by May. 24-21 Ravens now. Later in this quarter, 2:15 to go. May hands it off to Ramondre Stevenson, replacing an injured Travion Henderson. He's in for the touchdown. 28-24. Patriots take the lead in this game. That's 15 unanswered. And Huntley to Zay Flowers, who fumbles. Zay Flowers seems to always fumble in the worst moments. Patriots recover with under 2 minutes to go. They ran out the rest of the clock. They win 28-24. That is a awful loss for the Ravens. How you up 24-13, complete control in the fourth quarter, and you blow it. Just a brutal, brutal, brutal loss for the Baltimore Ravens. Absolutely horrid loss. You're now 7-8 on the year. Your playoff chances are next to nothing now. You gotta win this weekend. Pittsburgh needs to lose, and then gotta beat Pittsburgh in week 18. You might be doing that without Lamar Jackson. Patriots get to 12-3, still in play for the 1 seed in the AFC. Before we get to wrestling, we had some other combat sports news. Anthony Joshua knocked out Jake Paul on a Netflix boxing event over the weekend. It was glorious to watch. I had to show you guys.
And it almost, there's a left hook. Down goes Paul.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Mamma mia! It may have taken a little bit longer than everyone expected, but AJ gets the KO in round 6.
So beautiful to watch. That should be it for Jake Paul. I mean, after the Mike Tyson fight, that showed like these fights are clearly, not scripted, but like they're basically are scripted for him to lose, or for him to win rather. Mike Tyson could have easily killed him even at his age, and he didn't. It happens every time. He fought Tommy Fury, who's a real boxer and not even a good one, a couple years ago. He lost. He fought Anthony Joshua, who's an Olympic boxer, and they killed him. He got knocked down like 12 times, absolutely kicked his ass. I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Joshua got paid, I think he got paid to beat him, but they probably told him, just wait till the 6th round. Because they know if Joshua wanted to, he could easily knock Jake Paul out in the first round, first 30 seconds. If I'm Jake Paul, if you fight a not real boxer or a washed 50-year-old ex-MMA guy, we all know you're going to be scripted to win. If you fight a real boxer, you're going to get your ass kicked. The gig's up. At this point, I would not be surprised if he stops boxing altogether. Let's talk some wrestling. Recap Smackdown from Friday. Overall was not great. Started off with Damian Priest coming out. Cut up promo, he was thanking John Cena. He was saying he wants to move on from Aleister Black after the Terror Twins defeated Vega and Black in a mixed tag last week on SmackDown. And then Zelina Vega came out. And then, Black's music hit, and he attacks Damian Priest from behind. That continued backstage. Just, can we stop this feud? I like both these guys, but they've been doing this for 6 months. Enough is enough. Okay? Enough is enough. Then we had Nia Jax and Lash to defeat the Kabuki Warriors in the women's tag match. And they were attacked by Bliss and Flair afterwards. Rhea and Io have a tag title match coming up. I don't know why Lash and Nia are freaking getting shots. Can we stop? I don't hate Last Legend, but Nia Jax, come on. What are we doing? Then Joy had her interview backstage. Calvin James was pissed off that Jackie didn't run it by her first. Then Joy did a little interview. She defeated Alba Fire. Very short match. Looks like Julia and Chelsea are going to be running it back again for the women's U.S. title. I guess give it back to Julia. Who knows that at this point? We had Ilya Dragunov and Camille Hayes beat DIY. Of course, Gargano and champion in a tag match. That was a very good match. I'll say Dragunov and Hayes had some nice chemistry. Then Michin attacked Jade Cargill with a kendo stick. I think they'll have a match soon for the title that Jade will win in about 4 minutes, probably. I hate what they're doing with her. Then, of course, we had Drew McIntyre, Cody, Nick Aldis had a cool segment. It was at Drew McIntyre's house. I'm assuming that's actually his house. If it is, that shows you what money will buy. Holy crap, that was some house. Nick Aldis said his terms was, "I'll give you your championship match and I'll reinstate you, but you got to issue a public apology to the referee that you claymored in all these terms." And then Drew said, "No, I don't agree. I'm going to be set to be screwed again." And then he said, "Well, I want Cody Rhodes to not be able to put a finger on me. I want to pick the stipulation." And all this, you know what? Fine. Then all of a sudden, Cody shows up at his house, and they had a big brawl. And then all this backstage was talking about it. Then Cody comes out, almost interrupts him, saying, "Cody, I like you, but what you did was illegal, and you can't do that." And then Cody said, "You work for me," and had a war of words over Drew McIntyre. Can they turn this guy heel? He's acting like a heel. He has been for months. Enough. They have to turn him heel. At some point, it has to happen. At this point, give Drew a title at the Royal Rumble, and then have Cody turn heel somewhere. Because enough is enough. And I like Cody Rhodes, but this character is so bad, okay? Turn him heel already, okay? To me, this could be like a Roman Reigns situation. For years, this guy clearly was a top dog, showed up every night, also with the Shield. Then they turned him face. And it was fun at first, but in a while they realized he's just not John Cena. This isn't working. He comes back as a heel, and obviously he ended up becoming one of the all-time greats. With Cody, comes back to wrestling. Obviously, he's a huge baby face. Did a great job. Was, 2-time world champion. Well, had a 1-year reign main event for recent WrestleMania. But at this point, it's clear he's just not John Cena. Nobody is. Turn him heel and move on. I mean, a main event was a WWE Tag Team Championship match of the White Six against MFTs. Ended in no contest. Match honestly wasn't great. It was a bit sloppy. Wasn't a fan of the match. However, I do like this feud. This has been a fun feud between the White Six and MFT. There was Gacy and Lynn defending titles. It was Jason Mateo and Tungaloa of the MFTs. That's all I got for you guys today. Till next time, so long. Have a great day.